Local programs could be impacted by a proposal facing a new round of scrutiny Thursday on Capitol Hill. A proposal by the nation's education secretary would eliminate funding for the Special Olympics. Reporter Meredith Hackler joins us now with how the proposed cuts could affect future education programs. Meredith?
Delane, Education Secretary Betsy DeVos is proposing to cut nearly $18 million in grants that the Special Olympics organization receives annually from the Education Department. That money is used to fund education programs for what the Special Olympics calls the Inclusive Schools Initiative. The CEO of Special Olympics Minnesota says while this won't affect schools that currently have the program, it could prevent the education program from growing in the future.
Once they've reached that champion school status, they're pretty much self-funding because they are doing fundraiser on their own. They have support throughout the community, and so that the money that they're talking about is seed money for growth. So what it could do down the road is it could slow our growth a little bit, but we are totally committed to this inclusion movement and in the schools.
Osseo Middle School, Wayzata High School, and Breck School in Golden Valley all are a part of the Inclusive Schools Initiative. Now, during a Senate budget hearing Thursday, DeVos was pressed again by Democrats on the proposal. She says she loves the Special Olympics work, but argues the federal government cannot fund every worthy program. Now, it's unlikely that these cuts to the grants will pass since there has been pushback from both sides of the aisle. Delane?
All right, thanks, Meredith. In Maple Grove, plans are moving forward for a new church and residential development. The Planning Commission voted 4-2 to recommend approval of the plan. If approved, a church will be surrounded by apartment buildings and townhomes. Commission members voting no cited objections to the location of one of the apartment buildings. They also raised concerns that the developer had not reached out to neighbors to discuss the plans, as the commission had earlier requested.
I thought that was one of the things we asked that you guys would try to do, is reach out to some of the neighbors. We had people to the south, people to the east, and that was to see if there were, to try to eliminate some of these issues. That was one of the specific directives.
The proposal next goes to the full council. That is coming up on Monday. In New Hope, single-family homes are proposed for a city not used to new home construction. This week, the New Hope City Council approved the rezoning of a site north of the New Hope Ice Arena. The land is owned by the city and has been vacant for many years. A developer has agreed to buy the site and build 32 single-family homes in a new neighborhood called Windsor Ridge. The city believes the project will help diversify its housing stock and help meet a need for more move-up housing. The president of one of Minnesota's largest universities wants people to consider attending classes in Plymouth if they're looking to advance their careers or switch jobs. St. Cloud State President Robin Wacker was at the university's satellite campus in Plymouth on Wednesday. The college moved into this building in 2016 and offers a variety of master's programs for working adults. Wacker says the location has seen incremental growth each year.
And one of the things we know is that, particularly at the master's level, we are responding with programs and degrees that are in high demand that maybe weren't even in existence 5 years ago. Because the workforce is changing, the industry is changing, and we're also serving the needs of our industries in the greater Twin Cities location, particularly around medical technology and other programs.
President Wacker is meeting with stakeholders along the I-94 corridor this week to talk about potential ways that St. Cloud State can partner with their respective organizations. Wayzata High School continues to grow. It has a reputation for preparing students for college, but the school also offers classes that teach important life skills. Today in School Spotlight, we take a look at a new class where students learn lessons on cooking, teamwork, and inclusion.
So as we look at the table today, we have plates of fruit.
The taste of delicious food.
So if I hold up this, what do we got?
Apple.
Is something everyone can appreciate.
What are these?
Blueberries.
Different sizes.
Kiwis.
But properly cooking delicious food.
Yesterday we made pancakes. Tomorrow we're making nachos using the oven browning ground beef.
Good. Move back and forth.
Is a skill that needs to be taught.
You can do it.
And much to the joy of these Wayzata High School students,
Down.
Lori Sonstegard has taken on that role.
For some kids, this is the first time they've ever cracked an egg, or it's the first time that they've used a liquid measuring cup for measuring. So those are skills where they are today we hope to expand upon further.
Yet this isn't just a normal culinary course.
Peel it back, okay?
It's called Unified Arts, a new class that pairs general education students with special ed students such as Joey Suker.
I appreciate it a lot. It's a lot of fun, and it's helping everybody that's taking this class.
Which one? This big one? Yeah.
Helping not just because the students are learning the basics of what to do in the kitchen, but because the class helps send a message of inclusion.
Students really enjoy working together as a team. We hear lots of laughter, we have lots of smiles, lots of positive energy, and it doesn't feel like it's two different groups of kids. It feels like it's one group of kids working together as a team.
And in this class,
we gotta help each other out, you know?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Working in groups, working in the kitchen, learning how to run a griddle and all that.
It certainly helps that the students get to eat the food they spend the whole class period preparing. Most importantly, though, the lessons they learn in this class will stick with them well into adulthood.
Best class ever.
Wayzata staff members say that other school districts have reached out to learn more details about the program in case they want to implement something similar in their districts. A reminder, you can see all of our stories on our website, ccxmedia.org.
We are probably still a couple of weeks away from the start of the golf season here in Minnesota. For high school teams, just getting swings in here in March is very important. John Jacobson caught up with one of the area's top girls teams.
Finding space to practice golf early in the spring can sometimes be tough for high school players. On this day, the Wayzata girls team is at Inside Edge in Eden Prairie, gauging their swings with the use of the golf simulators.
Simulators really help because it's so similar to the courses. Domes, not quite as much, but simulators really do help us a lot.
You get a lot of data on the simulators. You get ball speed, you get club head speed, you get launch angles, you get different measurements that are tangible, so you can kind of see where they are.
Numbers are up in the program, although just a few varsity players returned for the Trojans from their section lineup last spring, including Amy Burnham and Anna St. Martin. They're looking forward to the season and seeing some of the team's young girls develop.
We have a lot of good younger players, including 2 middle schoolers, so it'll be exciting to see how they can add to our team and make us better this year.
Wayzata finished second to Edina in the Section 6 tournament and qualified 3 players to state. The competition the Trojans face this season will be fierce.
The road to the state tournament goes through Edina. They've been a power for the last several years, and they're going to be very good again this year, and they're a conference opponent as well. You know, the expectations are we compete for a conference championship, a section championship.
Right now, the players are looking forward to seeing how their indoor swings translate once they get outside.
Yeah, I just have to get used to hitting on the ground again because we don't have the divots inside, obviously, so I just have to remember to make my divots right again.
I just can't wait until the snow's off the ground so we can get outside.
In Eden Prairie, John Jacobson, CCX Sports.
Wayzata opens the season with a match against defending state champion Edina April 18th at Interlochen Country Club. The Champlin Park softball team fell 1 game short of reaching the state tournament last season. The Rebels are eager to take that next step this spring. Champlin Park is coming off a strong season, one in which they made their first ever section final appearance. The Rebels are hungry to break through and get to state for the first time.
I think because we were so close that it just made everybody pretty mad, and this year it's just we're back and we're better. It's pretty much the same team, and we're ready to go. We've been through it.
First time ever, to make it to a section final, be able to host it, and be 3 outs away from getting to that next step. And these kids want to go to state. I mean, they really do. They're hungry for it.
The Rebels have good reason for optimism. They lost just 2 seniors from last season. Shortstop Holly Blaska is one of the better players in the state. Junior third baseman, first baseman Abby Gilk is another key returner. They have 4 pitchers, 2 juniors and 2 freshmen who will battle for innings. It's a pretty well-rounded team.
We get along really well, so the chemistry should be good. We only lost like 2 seniors, and we have some pretty good kids coming up, so hopefully we can fill some roles and have a strong start.
While it's been frustrating at times running into strong teams like Centennial and Maple Grove in the Section 5 4A tournament, the Rebels say it's made their program better as they strive to reach that high level.
I think it definitely has made us a lot better. If there wasn't any competition, I feel like we'd play down to the level of our competition, and the fact that there's so many good teams out there that we have to play against, it makes us better as a group and it makes us better as individuals.
It's one of those things where it's sink or swim. You know, you're in such a tough conference, such a tough section.
We'll see if this is the season that Champlin Park punches its first ticket to state in softball. The Rebels are scheduled to open the season this coming Tuesday at home against Anoka if field conditions permit.